Today we're going to learn how to write an equation from a word problem, and then we'll also solve it in our calculator, which you already know how to do. To write an equation, all you're going to do is use the format mx plus b. So I want you to circle the m. Y'all learned this in 7th grade, but you probably didn't really thoroughly get into it very deeply, so don't stress if you don't remember. Basically, this is used to write problems, and I use this in everyday life, okay? For example, my washing machine broke the other day, and I had to decide whether to get it repaired, get a new one, or which repair company to go with. I had a company tell me that they would show up, but it was going to take them $80 just to show up at my front door because they were driving in from Houston. Is that a rate? I'm going to have to pay that over and over? Or is that a one-time thing? So this part of the problem is a one-time fee or a starting amount. So that guy who told me he would show up at my house, but it was going to cost me $80 for him just to show up, that $80 is that one-time fee. Are y'all with me? Then he told me he charges $50 an hour. So am I going to pay that $50 just one time, or do I have to pay it every single hour? That is called a rate. So yes, you will use this in real life. You might not remember it's called slope-intercept. You might not remember mx plus b, but you will remember how to figure it out in your head. So I was sitting here doing that. Okay, that's going to be 50x, x representing how many hours this guy stays at my house to diagnose my wash machine, plus the $80 fee for him to show up. And that's how I'm going to calculate what I owe him. I use this in real life. Okay? Now, the rate has clue words to help you know it's a rate. The clue words, write this over here. The clue words for rate are per, like per hour, each, like each hour, every, like every hour, and an, A-N, like an hour. So him charging $40 per hour, I could say $40 each hour. Do y'all see what I'm saying? If you see these words, it is probably, this is clue words for rate. So this is one of the easiest things you're going to do. Basically, the word problem is going to give you two numbers for the mx plus b. One's the rate, one's a one-time fee or starting point. That's it. Okay? But in equations have equal signs, right? Yes? So you're going to have two companies you're comparing. So I compared this guy from Houston, and then I compared this local guy from Bay City, and the Bay City guy did not charge me to show up at my door. So there was no one-time fee because he was just driving from Bay City. But he did charge me more per hour. So here's how easy this is. They're going to give you two companies to compare. So let's read the first one. It says, Bob's Electric Company charges a fee of $50 plus $25 per hour. And Wolford Electric Company charges $80 plus $15 per hour. How many companies did you see? I want you to highlight one company, one color. So Bob's, I'm going to do orange for me. Now again, if you don't have a highlighter, maybe use a red pen you could underline, and a pencil the other one. And Wolford, I'm going to do green. And I promise y'all this is super easy. Basically, I'm going to do Bob on one side, and I'm going to do Wolford on the other. And Bob's going to have an mx plus b, and Wolford's going to have an mx plus b. Are y'all with me?
So will we see problems like this?
Oh, you're going to see a lot of these, and they're super easy. So look at Bob's. How many numbers did they give you? 2. One is the m. One of them gets the x. And one is the one-time fee. So let's read it. Bob's Company charges a fee of $50. Is that a rate, or is that like a one-time thing? So that's the B, plus $25 per hour. Did y'all see that clue word? Yes. Okay, so which one of these numbers gets the X? The rate. The one that has the clue word gets the x. So I'm going to write 25x plus the one-time fee. What's the one-time fee? 50. How easy was that for Bob's? Good? Now we're going to go do it for Wolford. So look at the two numbers they gave you for Wolford. Which one of those numbers has the clue word? 15 per hour. That means every hour I have to pay $15. This one gets the X. So how would I write that for Wolford? 15X plus 80. And I'm pretty much done. Now all it says is write and solve an equation to find the number of hours for which the total cost will be the, what does same mean? Equal. Can I solve that in my calculator? Remember how to solve an equation? Where do we go? Y equals. All right, first of all, go check your windows. Make sure they're set from negative 300 to positive 300. Mine's on the screen. Do it quickly. Some of y'all should already still be set, unless you reset your calculator. If it's set, then go ahead and get out of that screen by hitting second mode. So you're setting your X minimum to negative 300, your maximum to 300, your Y minimum to negative 300, and your Y maximum to positive 300. Yes? Hit second mode to quit. Now we go to Y equals. We type in the left side. So 25X plus 50. Y'all remember how to do this, yes? Okay, then I go down to Y2 to type in the right side. 15X plus 80. What steps do I hit next?
Second trace.
Second trace option.
5.
Do not touch it while it graphs. Or remember, you'll freeze it. And then once the words pop up, enter, enter, enter. And when it says intersection, that's your answer.
I gotta say, if your thing freezes, you can press enter again and it'll freeze it.
I don't know if that always works, but you can try. All right, 3 hours. Because it said how many hours. What do y'all think? Not hard? Easy. All right, let's look at the example 2. We're comparing. So basically we're going to have a party and we want to rent one of those giant tents for the backyard. Yes? So rent a tent, rents party tents for a flat fee of $350 plus $100 per day. Let's make them one color. And the other company I'm doing is Capital Rentals. So Capital Rentals rents party tents for this much.
So you'll never find the Y equals, right? Just MX plus B.
For today, you're just going to have MX plus B equals MX plus B. So we're going to have later. We're going to have rent a tent. So I'm just going to put an R for rent a tent because I don't feel like writing that whole thing. And can I put C for Capital Rentals? Okay. Rent a tent. They gave me 2 numbers. One of these numbers gets the X. It's the rate. The one with the per, each, every, or and. Which one of these numbers has the clue word? 100 per. That means it's a rate. That means every single day I have to pay $100. So that's going to be 100X or 100D if you want to call it days. I'm just going to say X. Plus what? Plus 350. Now let's go do Capital Rental. Capital Rental rents party tents for a flat fee of $250. Is that a rate or a one-time thing? That's a one-time thing. Plus 150 per day. Which one of those gets the X? 150X plus 250. Then it says, when will they cost the same? So I put an equal sign and I solve it in my calculator. All right, let's go to Y equals. Clear everything out. So 100X plus 350 for Y1. For Y2, I'm putting in 150X plus 250. Everybody remembers we're using the X button and not the multiplication button, yes? Second trace, option 5, wait for it to graph. Once the words pop up, enter, 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 and the answer is 2. And what is my answer going to be per what? So 2 days. Now, this next question is a little tricky, so I want to see if anybody can figure out the tricky part. All right, we have a fish aquarium. We have 2 fish aquariums. The first fish aquarium holds 20 gallons of water and is leaking, did y'all hear that word? At a rate of 0.5 gallons per week. Another fish aquarium holds 30 gallons of water, but it's leaking at a rate of 0.75 gallons per week. All right, so we have the first fish aquarium and the second fish aquarium. I'll just say 1 and 2. So this will be 1, this will be 2. All right, the first fish aquarium holds 20 gallons. Is that a rate or is that the starting amount? Is that a positive value? It's 20 gallons. Yes? Everybody with me? But it's leaking at a rate of 0.5 gallons per week. So what number is going to get the X? Okay, now here's the question. Is the 0.5 a positive value or a negative value? Why? Because it's leaking. So the 20 is a positive because that's the gallons it starts with. But then it's leaking at a rate. That means this number gets a negative sign in front of it. So negative 0.5x plus 20. Does everybody understand why the rate got a negative sign? All right, I want to see if you can write the second aquarium on your own.
So we actually got it right. We didn't mess up.
All right, is 30 positive or negative? Positive, because that's how many gallons it starts with. It's leaking at a rate of 0.75 gallons per week. Which number gets the X?
0.7.
Which number has a negative value? 30 does not have a negative value.
0.75 because it's decreasing.
I'm going to explain why is 30 positive. Because it starts with 30 gallons. It's there. It's not. That's a positive number. Then it says, when will they be at the same? So I put an equal sign and go solve it in my calculator. All right, so y equals negative 0.5x. Please put in the negative sign and not the subtraction sign. Plus 20. Negative 0.75x plus 30. Second trace, option 5. Wait for it to graph. Enter, enter, enter. And the answer is 40. 40 what? 40 weeks. All right. Flip to the back. 40 weeks. Now, this is from yesterday. Let's just go over what we learned yesterday. You should have kept your notes from yesterday. Remember the little cheat sheet I gave you? Okay, so if there's even any questions like this on your assignment today, you can use your cheat sheet that I gave you yesterday. If not, I can put mine up on the board and freeze it. All right, here we go. The product of 3 and a number plus 14 is, did everybody see the word for equals? Circle it. All right, the product. What is a product? Multiplication of 3 and a number. What's a number?
X.
X. So how would I write 3 times x? 3x plus 14. So plus 14 is, so equals 35. Could I now solve that in my calculator under y equals? Do I have to go do that with y'all or everybody got that? Good? All right, let's do the next one. Find the word that means equals. Everybody found it? The quotient What does quotient mean? Divide. So I'm going to divide a number and 7. So x over 7. Minus 2. So minus 2 is, so equals 9. Could I solve that in my calculator to y equals? Question? All right, last one. 5 less than 9 times the number is, circle the word that means equals. All right, the first clue word is less than. What did we learn about less than yesterday? We switched their spots and it's subtraction. So it's going to go like this. So it's not 5 minus, it's something minus 5. 9 times a number. How would I write 9 times a number? 9x in front. And then is, so equals 13. And then I would solve that in my calculator. So the left side would go in y1, the right side in y2, second trace option 5, enter, enter, enter. Yes? Everybody good? All right, open your Chromebook, go to the Google Classroom. What I expect to see on your answer document is this part. You don't have to write mx plus b, mx plus b. I just want to see the equation and then the answer that you put in your calculator, okay?